Good morning. This is Dr. Kannan from Chengalpet, India. We have been talking about the ancient relationship between the Kaya Federation in Korea and that of Oi kingdoms, a part of a Pandya clan in Tamil Nadu. While we're talking about these ancient connections, we started seeing the connection between Japan and India. Though historically most of the cultural elements went from Korea to Japan, we still need to start from Japan for the simple reason the Japanese scientists have gone ahead in establishing the relationship between Tamil and Japanese. I told you about Professor Ono. So let me explore a little more about the Japanese connection here, and then I'll come back to the Korean connection. So the Japanese, as you know, are extremely polite, gentle, honest, and kind. And these are the values that Tamils, at least the Tamil literature, ancient Tamil literature, have been talking about all the time. And when you get into your home in Japan, you normally leave your shoes outside and then you go in. So you don't go or you walk in with your shoes. Okay. And secondly, when you get in, normally people will say, Sumimasen, Sumimasen. Sumimasen means like, you kindly excuse me because I'm disturbing you. So for everything, they project the other person important than the self, so that also is very Tamil in nature if one reads ancient literature in Tamil. The other thing is that receiving the guest, this is considered as one of the most beautiful value a man should have. That's what a Tamil custom says. செல்விருந்து ஓம்பி வருவிருந்து காத்திருப்பான் நல்விருந்து வானத்தவர்க்கு. So says Thirukkural. It means that they are happy with the guests who are leaving from their home and waiting for the new guest to come, and they will be actually considered by the devas and the gods as the excellent people. So the Tamils give so much of importance for the guest, and naturally, if you see in Japanese, you'll be treated like a king, and actually like the Japanese pamper you like anything, and that comes out of this value that a guest is important and he should be paid enough attention. Not only that, when you go to a house in ancient Tamil Nadu, that we take something, we don't go empty hand. Okay, at least we take some flowers or some fruits and other things, depends on you. And the Japanese also, when they meet you, they always give you something. I lived there for 5 years. When I left Japan, I had really a shipload of gifts given by my Japanese friends. That's why you love Japan, because Japanese are that much polite and lovable to the guests who are entering into their country. So in many ways, actually, Japan and India are similar, and these ancient values might have actually probably might have come from India. I gave a lot of evidences for such connections in my slideshow in the same channel. If you go down there, you will see a scientific presentation of the connections. And also several of their customs are very similar to Indian. For example, the harvest festival. During the harvest festival, the ancient Tamils used to lit lamps and they make a bonfire, and that tradition is still there in Japan. And secondly, there are excellent videos produced by Japanese to show that the ancient Hindu gods have been actually slightly kind of a masked with the Buddhistic style, but still they exist in Japan. So that shows the ancient links between Japan and India, though their origins, the Japanese origins, they don't mention about India as the Koreans do it explicitly, but the Japanese definitely do have connections. I was telling you about the Okinawa connection, because Okinawa is part of Japan, and Okinawa has definite genetic links with Indians. So, in many ways, the Japanese and the Tamils, they share a lot of common things. And also, for a Tamil, it's very easy to learn at least the oral Japanese, the vocal. It's very easy for the Tamils to speak Japanese. They also appreciate that. Whereas for a Westerner, it is rather difficult. And this easiness, I don't know, it comes from some ancient transference, one would say. But of course, the written Japanese is extremely difficult because they still keep the ancient Chinese characters, and they have three different types of writing systems, the kanji, hiragana, and katakana. Those are probably later developments with complicated things. But I mentioned to you earlier that the ancient Yayoi people could have come from the Ai clan from Tamil Nadu, and their ancient poems, Manyoshu, it actually resembles the Sangam literature. And so certainly there is a connection between Japan and Tamil. And then now we'll slowly explore the connections between Korea and the Tamils. Thank you. Have a nice day.